On a sunny afternoon in AM, Asesai was making her way back from the market when the tranquil atmosphere was interrupted by the sight of Mr. Oliver's car. The affluent businessman, intent on pursuing his sinister desires, halted his vehicle and called out to Omasiri. Ignoring his advances, Omasiri quickened her pace, hoping to evade any confrontation. However, Mr. Oliver, displaying a persistent audacity, exited his car and approached her. He professed his love and intentions, expressing a desire to make her his fifth wife. Omasiri, patient until that moment, asserted her independence and youth, declaring, "Stay away from me. I am not interested, and I am too young to be anyone's wife," she stated with fierce resolve. Once upon a time, in the quiet village of AM, there lived a cheerful family, the Aneo family. Mr. Aneo was a diligent welder, and his wife, Mrs. Anoku, sold foodstuffs in the bustling market. They worked hard to provide for their family. Their eldest child, a bright and charming 18-year-old girl named Omasiri, had just graduated from high school. She was a source of pride for her parents, who marveled at her intelligence and warm-hearted nature. Omasiri's younger brother, Kosera, a lively child in junior high school, looked up to his sister with admiration. The Aneo family was not wealthy, but they were content. Their simple home resonated with laughter and love, creating an atmosphere that made them feel richer than any material possession could. Omasiri, with her dreams held high, decided to take a year off to assist her parents and save money for college. She embraced her role in the family, helping her mother in the market and keeping an eye on Kosara's studies. Despite the hard work, their bond grew stronger. Amok, with its lush greenery and close-knit community, was a haven for the Aneo family. The villagers admired the family's unity and the well-mannered nature of Omasiri and Kosera. Their smiles reflected the love that surrounded them. One sunny afternoon, as Omasiri and Kosera returned from their daily tasks, Mrs. Anoku greeted them with "Your father" has a beaming smile as she exclaimed that Mr. Aneo had secured an exciting new welding project, which would provide additional income for the family. The news quickly spread throughout the village, and Anna became a beacon of hope, symbolizing hard work and determination. Their neighbors celebrated their success, and the entire village united to honor them. As days turned into weeks, Omas continued to support her family, balancing her responsibilities with a grace that inspired those around her. Kara excelled in his studies, fueled by the encouragement of his family. One day, as the sun set over Amok, Omas gathered her family and announced with a bright smile, "I've saved enough for my college fund." Mr. Aneo and Anduku exchanged proud glances, realizing that their daughter's dedication had borne fruit. In the tranquil village of Amok, the Aneo family basked in the warmth of their close bond. However, a new twist was about to disrupt their lives. One day, a wealthy man named Oliver, a prominent businessman in his 50s, approached Mr. Aneo with a proposal that sent shockwaves through their humble home. Oliver expressed his desire to marry Omas, the jewel of the Aneo family. Mr. Aneo, a principled man and protective of his children, did not take kindly to Oliver's proposition. His face tightened, and anger flashed in his eyes as he sternly told Oliver to leave, emphasizing that such thoughts were unwelcome in their home. Undeterred by Mr. Aneo's refusal, Oliver grew more persistent. Known for his wealth and influence, his arrogance was boundless. Mr. Aneo, though angered, stood his ground, fiercely defending his family. "Never return to my house with such intentions. My daughter is not for sale, and I will not allow her to be preyed upon by a man of your age," Mr. Aneo declared, his voice filled with a father's protective fervor. At the market, Mrs. Anoku sensed her husband's agitation and rushed home, where she found Mr. Aneo recounting the events. The encounter with Oliva Omasiri also included overhearing the conversation from her younger brother. Kara Omas's heart sank, but her parents, recognizing the distress it caused her, gathered around to reassure her. "No harm will come to you, my dear. We are here to protect you, and your dreams will not be compromised," Mrs. Anoku comforted her daughter. Despite the family's unity, Oliver harbored a sinister determination unknown to them. He vowed to make Omas his wife, regardless of the obstacles. His wicked intentions loomed like a dark cloud over the otherwise serene village. As days went by, Mr. Ane intensified his commitment to his children's education, working tirelessly, fueled by a father's determination to shield his family from any harm. The village, aware of the situation, rallied behind the Ane family, standing in solidarity against Oliver's unwelcome advances. Omasiri, although saddened by the unfortunate turn of events, found solace in her family's love and support. She clung to her dreams, trusting her parents' promise to see her and Sarah through university. On a sunny afternoon in AM, Omas made her way back from the market. The peaceful atmosphere was disrupted by the sight of Mr. Oliver's car. The wealthy businessman, determined to fulfill his sinister desires, stopped his vehicle and called out to Omasiri. Ignoring his advances, Omas quickened her pace, hoping to avoid any confrontation. However, Mr. Oliver, displaying persistent audacity, stepped out of his car and approached her. He professed his love and intentions, expressing a desire to make her his fifth wife. Marring her patience, Omas lashed out, asserting her independence and youth. "Stay away from me. I am not interested, and I am too young to be anyone's wife," she declared with fierce resolve. Undeterred by Omas's rejection, Mr. Oliver insisted that she must be his wife. Anger rising within her, Omas forcefully pushed him aside and walked away, leaving Mr. Oliver sitting in frustration as he drove off in his car. That evening, Omas, still shaken by the encounter, recounted the events. The distressing incident affected her family deeply. Her parents, infuriated by Mr. Oliver's persistence, reassured her of their unwavering support. Mr. Aneo, consumed by a father's protective fury, decided to confront Mr. Oliver. With determination etched on his face, he marched towards the wealthy man's residence, intent on putting an end to his unwelcome pursuit of his daughter. Upon reaching Mr. Oliver's house, Mr. Aneo demanded an explanation for his disrespectful behavior towards Omasiri. "My daughter is not a commodity for you to collect. She has dreams and deserves respect," he asserted, his words cutting through the tension-filled air. Mr. Oliver, displaying his characteristic arrogance, dismissed Mr. Aneo's concerns, further fueling the escalating conflict. He instructed his men to forcefully remove Mr. Aneo from his compound. The scene unfolded with aggression, yet Mr. Aneo, though expelled, returned to his family with steadfast reassurance that all would be well. United by the recent events, the Aneo family shifted their focus to preparing Omasiri for her journey to the university in the city. Excitement filled the air as they gathered the necessities for her new chapter in life. Omasiri, with dreams in her eyes, couldn't contain her joy as the day of departure neared. Emotions ran high within the Aneo household. Carrie, her younger brother, found it particularly challenging. Tears welled up in his eyes as he expressed his sorrow at the thought of missing his sister. Omasiri, the epitome of strength and warmth, consoled him, promising to return home during every holiday. Despite the recent turmoil, the family shared a moment of unity and love, comforting each other in light of the impending separation. The eve of Omasiri's departure arrived, and the Aneo family gathered for a heartfelt conversation. Her parents, filled with a mix of pride and concern, summoned her for a private discussion. They shared advice, encouraging her to excel in her studies and to steer clear of negative influences. Her mother, a pillar of strength, offered a prayer for Mare's well-being and success. The entire family, united by love, spent the night preparing, with Omasiri and Karachi staying up late to organize her belongings as the clock ticked down. Anna, exhausted yet content, drifted off to sleep, dreaming of a bright future for Mare. Little did they know that the night held an unexpected twist, a twist that would once again challenge their resilience and unity. The next morning, filled with hope and excitement, Omasiri woke up early. She took a bath, carefully dressed, and arranged all her luggage, eager to begin her journey to the city for university. She went to wake her parents to see her off. As she knocked on their door, her mother was the first to respond, calling for Mr. Ane, but there was an unsettling silence. Omar grew increasingly concerned, urging her mother to open the door. When they entered the room, fear gripped them as they realized Mr. Ine lay motionless. In a panic, they desperately tried to wake him, but he remained unresponsive. Karachi rushed into the room, and together they shouted, shook him, and pleaded for a sign of life. It was then that the harsh reality struck. Mr. Ine had passed away. Devastation engulfed the Ine family as they cried out in grief. The news spread like wildfire, and villagers rushed in to offer their condolences. Omis, her dreams shattered, could not contain her pain. The joyous occasion had turned into an unimaginable tragedy. As the women consoled Mrs. Anaku, Omis sat in shock, holding on to Karachi. The weight of the loss was unbearable. Her father, the pillar of their family, was gone. The dreams of a brighter future and the promise of education all seemed to crumble in the face of this unexpected tragedy. Amidst the collective sorrow, the village gathered around the grieving Ane family. Their once harmonious home now echoed with the somber sounds of mourning. Omari, contemplating the shattered pieces of her life, found solace in the support of her community amidst the sorrow. The Anos family confronted the daunting task of laying to rest their cherished father and husband. The village, acknowledging the family's plight, extended their support in arranging a dignified farewell for Mr. Ane. As they prepared to bid him farewell, Omasiri, with tear-streaked cheeks, clung to the memories of her father's steadfast love and resolve. The once vibrant Ane family now struggled with the harsh reality of their loss, and the path ahead appeared daunting and uncertain. A few weeks following the funeral, Omasiri and her mother, Mrs. Anaku, sat down one evening to deliberate on the challenging journey that lay ahead. With a heavy heart, Mrs. Anaku articulated the financial difficulties they encountered after Mr. Ane's burial, emphasizing the necessity for Omasiri to temporarily set aside her aspirations and assist in the family's livelihood. Acknowledging the gravity of their situation, Omasiri accepted her mother's proposal, her heart filled with determination. She took on the responsibility of helping her mother in the shop to generate funds for both her and Karika's school fees. They worked tirelessly over the next 2 weeks, with Omasiri balancing her responsibilities with the diligence that had become synonymous with the Ane family. Although her dreams of attending university felt distant, the love of her family and the memory of her father fueled her efforts. Then, one day, the unwelcome presence of Mr. Oliver disrupted the fragile peace the family was striving to restore. He visited Mrs. Anaku, persistently expressing his desire to marry Omasiri. With unwavering resolve, Mrs. Anaku rejected his advances, asserting that Omasiri was not prepared for marriage and must prioritize her education before considering such matters. Mr. Oliver left with a discontented smile, but an unsettling atmosphere lingered. Overhearing the conversation, Omasiri emerged with a steadfast resolve, reassuring her mother not to be troubled by Mr. Oliver's persistence. As they set out to the market the following day, Mrs. Anaku was determined to confront the challenges together, while Carrick remained oblivious to the sinister plans brewing in the background. Little did they know, Mr. Oliver, driven by his twisted desires, was devising a sinister plan. The village of Amuk, still mourning the loss of Mr. Aneo, remained blissfully unaware of the storm that once again threatened the Inn family. The journey ahead appeared fraught with uncertainty as Anansi prepared herself for whatever challenges lay ahead. Meanwhile, Omari continued to endure Mr. Oliver's relentless advances on the road, standing resilient and refusing to engage with him. His desperation intensified, and he spitefully predicted that she would soon come begging. Undeterred, Omas ignored his taunts, choosing not to let his toxic presence affect her. However, tragedy struck that very evening when Mrs. Onu, returning from the market, was unexpectedly struck by lightning and lost her life instantly. The villagers, rushing to her aid, could do nothing to alter the cruel fate that had befallen the Inn family once more. Oni and Dari, upon receiving the devastating news, rushed to the scene only to find their mother lifeless. They cried and pleaded for her to return, but she remained still. The foundation of their world crumbled, and the villagers offered their condolences, providing support to the grieving siblings. That night, well-wishers stayed with them, offering comfort through the dark hours. The next morning, Mrs. Onu was laid to rest. Omasiri, shattered by grief, clung to each other for support as the pain was overwhelming and tears flowed endlessly. Amidst the mourning, Mr. Oliver, displaying a heart devoid of empathy, came to express his condolences and shockingly renewed his proposal to Omasiri. Anger surged within her, and she lashed out at him, condemning his insensitivity. Karachi, fueled by grief and rage, took a stand and chased Mr. Oliver away with a machete, vowing never to allow him near their compound again. The well-wishers intervened, urging them to focus on honoring their mother rather than engaging with Mr. Oliver's wickedness. Omasiri and Karachi, their hearts heavy with sorrow, allowed their tears to flow freely as they faced the harsh reality of their world. Without their parents, the once joyful family now traversed a path filled with loss and hardship, relying on the support of their community as they mourned the untimely passing of their beloved mother. In the weeks that followed, the burden of responsibility fell on Mrs. Omasiri, who took it upon herself to care for her younger brother, Karachi. Determined to ensure they never faced hunger, she accepted various jobs and worked tirelessly to make ends meet. Omasiri became a beacon of hope for Karachi, who was profoundly grateful for all that his sister did. Despite the challenges, Omasiri's resilience shone through as she navigated the harsh realities of life with determination and grace, providing for her brother and ensuring they had the essentials. The bond between the siblings grew stronger as they faced adversity together. However, Mr. Oliver, undeterred by his previous rejection, resumed his intrusive attempts to win Omasiri's favor. He inundated them with gifts, attempting to use material possessions to achieve his unsettling goals. Having reached his limit, Karachi rejected every gift and once again chased Mr. Oliver away. Although Omasiri and Karachi were mourning the loss of their parents, they found strength in one another. Omasiri's unwavering commitment to her brother became a source of inspiration for the villagers, who admired her resilience in the face of adversity. The challenges persisted, but the siblings faced them with courage, supported by a community that rallied around them in their time of need. In a heartbreaking turn of events, Omasiri received a call informing her that her brother Karachi had collapsed at school. Rushing to his side, she found him being taken to the hospital. The weight of the situation grew heavier when the doctor informed her that a deposit of 100,000 naira was required before any treatment could begin. Devastated and unable to afford such a sum, Omasiri pleaded with the doctor to initiate treatment, but her pleas fell on deaf ears. Desperation drove her to seek assistance from relatives, but none could provide the necessary funds during a moment of desperation. Omas turned to Mr. Oliver, the wealthy man who had persistently pursued her. With a heavy heart, she approached Mr. Oliver, and as anticipated, he greeted her with a knowing smile. She collapsed at his feet, tears streaming down her face as she implored him for assistance to save her brother's life. Mr. Oliver, seeing an opportunity, coldly stated that he would provide the money only if Omas signed a document agreeing to marry him. In a desperate attempt to save her brother, Omas, overwhelmed by grief and urgency, consented to Mr. Oliver's terms. He handed her the money, and she hurried back to the hospital, hoping to arrive in time. However, upon her return, she received the devastating news that Karachi had passed away. Overcome with grief, Omas screamed, crying out in anguish and calling for death to take her as well. The weight of loss and the consequences of her desperate decision to save her brother's life through a painful compromise crashed down upon her. The hospital room, once a place of hope, became a haunting reminder of the tragic turn their lives had taken. Shattered by the loss of her brother and the heavy price she paid, Omas faced an uncertain and painful future. In the weeks following her brother's tragic death, Omas made the difficult decision to seek solace in her maternal home, planning to leave with her grandmother. However, her hopes were dashed when Mr. Oliver and his men intercepted her, taking her to Mr. Oliver's house. Confused and distressed, Omas questioned why she had been brought there. Mr. Oliver, with his sinister grin, presented the document she had signed, a contract that now bound her to him as his wife. In desperation, Omas pleaded with Mr. Oliver, reminding him of the recent tragedy that had befallen her family, but her pleas fell on deaf ears. Driven by his selfish desires, Mr. Oliver disregarded her grief and ordered his men to take her inside and prepare her as his wife. Heartbroken and in disbelief, Omas continued to beg and cry, but her pleas were met with indifference. With indifference, the once vibrant and hopeful girl found herself ensnared in a nightmare, compelled into a situation to which she had never consented. The walls closed in around her as the reality of her circumstances settled in, leaving her in a vulnerable and distressing predicament. The shadows of tragedy and manipulation loomed over Omas's life, casting a dark cloud over her once promising future. Days turned into weeks, and Omas found herself held captive in a room within Mr. Oliver's mansion, isolated from the outside world. She endured the torment of Mr. Oliver's unwelcome advances every night. The weight of her despair pressed heavily upon her, and thoughts of death appeared to be the only escape. As the cruel days passed, Omasiri, in a moment of desperate clarity, resolved to play along, feigning submission in hopes of finding a way out of her dire situation. One night, as Mr. Oliver entered the room, she knelt down, her eyes averted. "Mr. Oliver, forgive me for all I have done. I realize now that I should have accepted your proposal from the beginning. I am willing to be your wife." Mr. Oliver, surprised and pleased by this sudden change, grinned triumphantly. Well, it seems you have finally come to your senses. Get up, there is no need for such dramatics. Oem stood with a deceptive smile on her face, concealing the sinister plan taking root in her mind. "Thank you, Mr. Oliver. I promise to be the beautiful wife you deserve." Mr. Oliver, believing he had succeeded in breaking her resistance, assured her, "Good. I expect nothing less. I will take good care of you." As Mr. Oliver left the room that night, Omas's smile transformed into a quiet determination. Unknown to him, she harbored a secret plan, a glimmer of hope in the darkness that enveloped her. The game of survival and manipulation had just begun, and Omas was prepared to navigate its treacherous path. The following morning, Omas found herself released from the confining room. While she now had the freedom to move around Mr. Oliver's mansion, a new set of constraints awaited her. She was not permitted to leave the premises. Despite the circumstances, she adapted by dressing elegantly and even had a personal maid to attend to her needs. Omasiri meticulously fulfilled her role as Oliver's best wife, charmingly winning his trust, which made her words carry significant weight within the mansion. Whatever she said was respected, and her influence began to alter the dynamics among Mr. Oliver's wives. However, her newfound position did not sit well with the other wives, who grew envious of Omas's favored status. Their discontent was apparent, yet they felt compelled to follow her lead. Omas's skill in navigating the intricate politics of the mansion and gaining Mr. Oliver's favor made her a formidable presence. As she moved through the opulent halls, her presence overshadowed the other wives, turning the mansion into a stage for a complex interplay of power, jealousy, and reluctant compliance. Mary, who seemed confined, had become a silent orchestrator within the mansion's walls, her actions guided by a carefully concealed plan known only to her. As time went on, Omas's position as the favored wife in Mr. Oliver's mansion solidified. She went to great lengths to please him, fulfilling every request he made. However, a clandestine meeting with her cousin Amici, the gardener at Mr. Oliver's mansion, altered her understanding. Aware of the dangers surrounding them, Amici discreetly handed Omasiri a letter, claiming it was from Karachi. He revealed the shocking truth about Mr. Oliver's sinister intentions and actions. The letter disclosed that Mr. Oliver was responsible for the deaths of her family members, all in his pursuit to make Omas his wife. Even in death, Omasiri revealed the existence of a secret room where Mr. Oliver kept his malevolent charms. Trembling and tearful, Omasiri read the letter carefully. Karachi's words exposed the depth of Mr. Oliver's malevolence. Composing herself, Omis knew she had to act, not only for her family's justice, but also for her own survival. Fueled by newfound determination, Omis struggled under the burden of the information that Ames had ignited within her, a plan to reveal the truth and liberate herself from Mr. Oliver's sinister influence. The mansion, once a gilded cage, transformed into a battleground where Omis would confront the darkness that had engulfed her life and fight for the justice her family deserved. Motivated by the revelation from Ames's letter, Omis crafted a strategy to confront Mr. Oliver and put an end to his malevolence. She arranged a dinner date, discreetly adding a special substance to his food. As they sat down to dine, the atmosphere was tense. "Mr. Oliver, I have been contemplating our relationship. I desire for us to share a special evening together." "Well, my dear, I am always open to a special night," he replied. As they ate, Omis kept a vigilant watch on Mr. Oliver, anticipating the moment the substance would take effect. Soon he began to feel its impact and started to lose consciousness. "Let me assist you to your room," she offered, guiding him toward his chamber while concealing her true intentions. Upon reaching the door, a mysterious force pushed her back. In that instant, Karate appeared, embracing her and infusing her with strength. She pushed open the door and uncovered the secret room. "This is where it concludes," she declared, holding a bottle of alcohol. Following Kasara's instructions, she splashed the liquid around the charms, causing Mr. Oliver to scream in agony. The entire household rushed to his aid, oblivious to Omis's true intentions. In his pain, Mr. Oliver confessed to his heinous deeds, admitting to killing wives and families to marry them, driven by a twisted desire for youth. Filled with rage and sorrow, Omis confronted him, saying, "You destroyed my family and my dreams. May you never find peace." As Mr. Oliver pleaded for mercy, Omis, standing amidst the chaos, felt a blend of pain and satisfaction. The dark secrets that had tormented her life were now laid bare. Mr. Oliver's reign of terror had come to an end, and Omis, emboldened by the revelation, found a semblance of closure. The mansion that once held her captive now resonated with the cries of revelation and justice. Oliver's dark chapter began with her family behind her as Ani ventured to the city in search of new opportunities. They both secured jobs and worked diligently to establish a stable life. Omis was determined to fulfill her dreams of education and managed to save enough money for her blessings, eventually gaining admission to a university. The journey through university was not without its challenges, but with A's unwavering support, Omis persevered and graduated with flying colors. She quickly found a job and, true to her nature, extended a helping hand to Amici, assisting him in securing a position in their company. Together, they worked tirelessly to restore honor to their family name. Omis's ambition soared, and with Ami's assistance, she eventually founded her own company, rising to the position of CEO. Her journey from a small village to the helm of a multi-million-dollar company was a testament to her resilience and determination. Despite her success, Omis could not shake the bittersweet reality that her family was not there to witness her triumphs. The void left by their absence served as a poignant reminder of the sacrifices that had paved the way for her success. However, life had more blessings in store for her. Mr. Kelvin, a man of equal stature and success, sought her hand in marriage. Their union was celebrated with a grand wedding, becoming the talk of the town. In the years that followed, Omis and Mr. Kelvin were blessed with 2 boys and a girl. As Omis held her own family close, she shared her story with her children, tales of perseverance, triumph over adversity, and the importance of family bonds. Her happy ending was not just a personal victory, it became a legacy passed down to the next generation. With each contract secured, each milestone achieved, and each tender moment with her family, Omis continued to honor the memory of her loved ones. Her life, once marred by tragedy, had blossomed into a tale of hope and success. The tale of Omis's journey reveals a profound lesson about resilience and the uplifting strength of hope. From the depths of adversity, she transformed tragedy into triumph through unwavering determination, diligent effort, and the encouragement of those who had faith in her. It is important to remember that while challenges may arise, with perseverance, a supportive network, and a commitment to one's aspirations, even the most daunting obstacles can be overcome. Music,